Joel James.
Deep Drive Clower, and thank you, Minister, for your statement today. And I'd like to take the opportunity to thank you for the meeting we had last week to discuss the release of this very important data set. The worrying scenes that we witnessed in Tylerstown in 2020 are a reminder to us of the legacy and impact of our industrial past, and I fully support the action taken by yourself and the Welsh Government in tackling this issue and to start by mapping all the coal tip sites in Wales. It allows for more consistent data, and it allows for all those concerned to access the same relevant information and to work towards the same principles, which of course is vital for delivering results going forward. Like yourself in your statement today, I also want to take this opportunity to reassure residents, especially those just discovering that they might be living next to a coal tip, not to worry, and that this list does not mean there's an immediate issue with any of these tips being listed. In the technical briefing this morning, I must admit I was surprised to hear that some owners are unaware that they have disused coal tips on their land, and this just demonstrates the complexity of the task ahead of us. In the briefing, we were also informed that about 6% of all disused coal tips do not have a clearly defined owner or have no available ownership information. And with this in mind, Minister, I'm interested to know what action could be taken in terms of monitoring and maintaining these sites when this is the case. Will access to the site be given, as it were, and will necessary maintenance automatically be carried out? Or is there any legality that prevents you from doing this? Also, Minister, is there any recourse for owners who may have been told that a disused coal tip is on their land to dispute that finding? As you can no doubt appreciate, there may well be legal or insurance issues for owners if they have wrongly been identified as the legal owners of a site, and this could cause considerable problems if they were to try and sell their land at a later stage. Given the complexity and the high number of shared owners of disused coal tips, I anticipate that this data may well, understandably, cause issues for some people. In your statement today, you have specifically mentioned the Category C and D sites, and that these sites will now be reviewed once and twice a year, respectively. Conscious that C and D sites doesn't necessarily mean that they pose the worst risks, I am interested to know how often the A and B sites will be monitored, and what is the potential for sites to change category. How likely will it be that a Category B site could move to either a C or D category? I ask this, Minister, because I want to know the potential for other sites that have been assessed as low risk becoming problematic in the future. As you have mentioned, £44.4 million of Welsh Government funding has been allocated for coal tip maintenance for 3 years, with the expectation that all this money will be spent on making many of the disused coal tips safe during this period. What financial expectations do you now have in terms of further finances being needed? Do you expect the £44.4 million to be enough to make all Category C and D coal tips structurally safe, and therefore only small amounts of funding will be needed for ongoing review, or do you expect that major funding will still need to be going forward? Finally, in your statement, you have made specific comments regarding the work being undertaken at the Tylerstown tip concerning the remediation of debris and the creation of wildlife meadows. I'm grateful to Rhondda and Taff County Borough Council for allowing me to visit this work being undertaken, but I'm keen to know what steps will be taken to prevent and even promote the specific biodiversity that is only found on coal tips in Wales. I'm conscious, as everyone here is, that public safety is paramount. But as you know, Minister, disused coal tips and colliery spoil sites have become rich in biodiversity with a characteristic flora and fauna unseen elsewhere that boasts many scarce, rare and unique species, such as the dingy skipper butterfly, the red-backed mining bee, and my personal favourites, the beast of Bavor and the Mardy monster millipedes. Many of these are classed as conservation priorities and are at risk of disappearing if remediation works do not take them into account. So with this in mind, how do you envisage this newly released data set being used to map out and protect that biodiversity? Thank you.